Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Moran. I'm the author of the Believers superhero novel trilogy, and we are reading book two today. We are starting in chapter two. Let me share my screen so you can see what's going on. All right, here we are. Chapter two, Leah. My name is Leah, and I've lived in Miami my whole life. That's a good start, Jerry said, feeling relieved that the young girl was opening up a bit. I'm glad, Leah said. Then she looked at Jerry and smiled, as if she were playing a game with him. Jerry couldn't figure it out at first, but then he realized her eyes changed colors again. Violet, like a flower, wavy blue like the sea, and then golden yellow like the sun. It was like watching a chameleon change colors, beautiful and intriguing, but also instantaneous. She could change eye colors by blinking. Jerry started laughing and said, I can't believe you can do that with your eyes. That's so cool. How did you learn to do that? I just woke up one day and I could do it. I can do something else too. Want to see? Of course I do, Jerry shouted with excitement. Jerry could not believe this random little girl had powers. He was having fun and dying to learn more about her. Cynthia noticed Jerry losing his focus in the conversation. There were more important questions that needed to be answered, and Cynthia could sense that Leah was being playful on purpose to avoid more serious matters. Cynthia tried asking a question, but Leah stuck her tongue out and started wiggling and curling it in awkward positions. This was certainly not a special power, but strange enough to keep Jerry's attention, and he loved it. Cynthia, however, thought it was annoying and began losing patience with this little girl. Jerry, we have to get to the wedding reception. Can we wrap this up? Cynthia asked, trying to urge Jerry to focus. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Hey, Leah, we'll have to talk another time. Let's get you back home. Where do you live? Um, I don't want to go home yet, Leah said in a shy manner. Then she put on a big smile and said, Can't I go with you to the wedding reception? Cynthia was shocked. This little girl was persistent. Cynthia gave Jerry a stern look, and Jerry replied, Well, it's kind of a private occasion. I prefer taking you home now if that's okay. It's not okay. I live in a foster care and don't want to go back yet, Leah said passionately. Her eyes changed into an orange fiery color, and she looked desperate. Jerry felt guilty again. He did not know this little girl lived in foster care. Jerry could never imagine that kind of life. He had loving parents who raised him well, and life without them would be strange and sad. Jerry knew exactly what he had to do, and he knew Cynthia wouldn't like it. He gave Cynthia an apologetic look, then approached Leah up close and said, Okay, you can come with us to the wedding reception, but only if you promise to let us take you home right afterward. Leah immediately leaped at Jerry and gave him a big hug, excitedly yelling, Thank you, thank you, thank you. I promise we'll go home right afterward. Jerry couldn't hide his smile. He enjoyed seeing her happy. Cynthia, however, had mixed feelings. At first, she thought Jerry was a wuss for giving in too quickly. But Leah was a cute little girl and thrilled to be joining them. It warmed her heart to see both Jerry and Leah happy. For a moment, it made Cynthia think about having children one day, and she blushed a bit, thinking Jerry would be a great father. But she quickly became alert and focused, unsure if this little girl could be trusted or not, and wondering why she wanted to stick with Jerry so badly. Before heading to the wedding reception, Jerry decided that Leah's outfit wasn't adequate for the occasion. She was currently wearing jean shorts and an orange shirt, and she was still wet from her swimming incident. Jerry looked at Leah and asked, Do you trust me? I guess so. You did save my life after all. Okay, then stand still and close your eyes for a moment. Leah closed her eyes and Jerry lifted his arms up, pointing right at her. Then Jerry closed his eyes and began concentrating. Wind and sand whirled around her like a mini tornado. Golden light began shining outward, creating a temporary blinding effect. Eventually, everything died down, and Leah was visible again, but she looked very different. She was now wearing a yellow sunflower dress with waves of sand. Leah looked down and hopped around with excitement, loving her new dress. Cynthia's jaw dropped, and she exclaimed, "How did you do that, Jerry? And why didn't you tell me about it?" "Last year, I fixed Vaughn's backyard fence, and in a similar manner, and I've been practicing and improving my powers ever since." Cynthia smiled and said, "You know that power will come in handy. I might never buy another dress again." Jerry laughed and said, "Okay, sounds good to me. Now let's get to that wedding reception." Jerry, Cynthia, and Leah walked over to the wedding reception, which was being held inside a ballroom at a nearby beach hotel. When they entered, most people were sitting down eating or standing around with drinks. The dinner was buffet style, all you can eat, with numerous tables of different foods to choose from. Leah's eyes lit up with joy and she dashed to the buffet tables. Blake noticed the little girl running around and approached Jerry and Cynthia to rag on them. "Hey guys, did you have a kid 12 years ago and not tell us about it?" "Ha ha, yeah, Blake, it's true. Sorry for keeping it a secret." Jerry laughed at Blake. "Don't even joke about that, Jerry. Some of us have a reputation to keep," Cynthia exclaimed half seriously. Vaughn saw his friends together, walked over to join the conversation, and said, "Hey guys, how's everything going?" "Bro, Jerry's got a kid now." Blake laughed and pointed at the little girl near the food buffet tables. Cynthia turned bright red and said, "Seriously, guys, stop messing around. We're not having kids anytime soon. We're not even married yet." "You hear that, Jerry? It's game over. You and Cynthia are getting married and adopting that kid over there by the end of the year." Jerry noticed that Cynthia was getting mad, so he quickly said, "Why don't we all get food and sit down? Cynthia, you can find our table, and I'll get food for both of us and bring it to you." Cynthia smiled and agreed, knowing that Jerry felt guilty and was trying to alleviate the situation. She walked away and began looking for their table. Blake jogged over to the buffet tables, and Vaughn walked slowly with Jerry to talk about a few things. "So, Jerry, are you going to tell me about the little girl, or do I have to read your mind and find out?" "It's complicated. She's an orphan and has superpowers, like us," Jerry replied. "What? How's that possible?" "I know you accidentally gave me powers, but you've never seen or met that girl before, right?" "I don't know the full story yet, Vaughn. I'll let you know when I figure it out." "Sounds good, Jerry. Keep me updated and I'll investigate as well," Vaughn said reassuringly, and then he walked away to a different buffet table. Jerry was now alone, putting food on two plates for himself and Cynthia. Chief Grimes approached Jerry and said, "So, you brought an extra guest. Isn't that the same little girl you rescued at the beach?" "Yes, sir. Sorry about all of that. I hope she's not too much trouble," Jerry replied nervously. "Don't worry, Jerry. It's not a problem at all. I'll just take some money out of your next paycheck." "Seriously? Ugh, Cynthia, my parents would be so mad at me." "Don't worry, Jerry. I'm just messing with you. Everything's already paid for. There's plenty of food, and that little girl is fun to watch." Leah found other kids at the wedding reception, and they were chasing each other around while eating finger food and playing tag on the dance floor. There were also a few adults dancing, and the kids were running and weaving through them like an obstacle course. Jerry and Chief Grimes both smiled while watching the kids. They were a reminder of why it felt so good to be a cop and hero, to protect and ensure their happiness. Jerry, Cynthia, Vaughn, Blake, Sandra Miller, Thomas Miller, Chief Grimes, and Anne Grimes all finally sat down together to eat. Anne Grimes took the opportunity to thank everyone at the table. "My life was very different 1 year ago. I was lying in my deathbed without any hope. But you all played a vital role in saving my life and changing my future for the better. I'm so glad you all came to our wedding today." Chief Grimes had a big smile and looked at Anne with pure admiration. Vaughn noticed his father's joy and raised his glass to show his gratitude. I haven't seen my dad this happy in the past 10 years, so I think you deserve a lot of credit too, Anne. You've made our family whole again, and I'll never forget that. Cheers. Everyone at the table raised their glasses and clanked them together in harmonic unison. This gave Jerry and Cynthia a positive moment of reflection. The past was a bit crazy, with Kevin Baker having superpowers, attacking Anne Grimes, and killing people in the city. Jerry and Cynthia shared a dark memory when they killed Kevin Baker in the middle of a football stadium. At that moment, they were unsure if they made the right decision, and Kevin's death weighed heavily on their shoulders. But seeing Anne Grimes and everyone living happily now made them feel at ease as they held each other's hands at the dinner table. After eating dinner, the wedding DJ started making announcements on a microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all having fun this evening. Now that everyone's done eating, we have a special surprise for you. Feast your eyes upon our towering dancers. Please join them on the dance floor. Everyone, get out of your seats and party. All the kids were already on the dance floor, and many adults waltzed up to enjoy the fun. The towering dancers was a group of people dressed in lavish, colorful outfits and dancing on stilts. They were 10 feet tall and dancing around, even stepping over people. As a fun gesture, they picked up a few children and swung them around. The kids loved it and were lining up, begging to be lifted up again by the towering dancers. All was well until Leah ran to the front of the line. She tried using her girly charm to skip everyone, and one boy did not like that at all. The boy yelled, "No skipping!" and pushed Leah out of the line as hard as he could. She stumbled a few feet and fell down. Then a towering dancer almost stepped on her. Leah panicked, and her eyes flashed multiple colors. Then the towering dancer's stilt went right through her. Her body was flickering like a candle, phasing in and out of existence. Everyone saw her true power, the ability to phase through objects. Wedding guests gasped in surprise and feared her power and scared that she might be hurt by the towering dancer. Leah was scared and worried that people might attack or interrogate her, so she frantically ran away, using her power to run through people, the DJ equipment, and a wall. Seconds later, Leah was gone, and Jerry tried to find her, but she was nowhere to be found. He even tried tracking down her energy aura, but he could not sense her. Perhaps her phasing power interferes with aura detection, Jerry thought to himself. After everyone calmed down, the wedding continued as normal, but Jerry's mind was very distracted. He spoke with Vaughn and asked if he could try to find Leah. Vaughn agreed to look at police records and anything that might help locate her. Jerry also decided that he would visit an old friend tomorrow, someone who could answer Jerry's questions. He asked Cynthia to join too, because this person was her college professor last year. Cynthia graciously accepted the offer to join, feeling happy that Jerry wanted her involved in superhero affairs. She also has a power, the ability to read Jerry's heart and emotions. She hoped her old college professor could help her understand this power and find ways to use it more effectively. And that's it. That's the end of chapter 2. I hope you all enjoyed it and see you for the next video, next chapter. Thank you very much.